Hello, and a massive welcome back to Iraqi Dinar, your trusted home for the latest updates, deep analysis, and breaking news you absolutely need to know. We're thrilled to have you here today because what we're covering is nothing short of explosive. The headline we're tracking reads, Trump's secret order. Iraq told to revalue the Iraqi dinar within 2%. This is not speculation. This is real, credible, and it's shaking the foundations of everything we thought we knew about the future of Iraq's currency. For years, investors and analysts have talked about hidden moves behind the scenes. And now, one of those moves seems to have come to light. A direct order, reportedly tied to former President Donald Trump, instructing Iraq to revalue its currency, but within a 2% margin. And that small number? It changes everything. It's not random, it's strategic. It's a signal that the old rules are gone and a new system is quietly being put in place right under our noses. What this means is massive. It means the wheels of reform are no longer just turning. They're spinning. We've heard rumors, we've seen small hints, but this time the dots connect. A 2% range means one thing: controlled flexibility. Iraq is being told to manage its currency, not to let it float wildly, but to keep it within a tight and stable corridor. And that, my friends, suggests one thing. Iraq is being prepared to stand on its own feet economically, with a currency that actually reflects its true strength. Let's unpack this, because this isn't just political noise, this is policy direction. According to reports, Trump's message was simple but groundbreaking. Use your own rate. Manage it within 2%. This completely flips the script on Iraq's long-standing dependency on the US dollar peg. For nearly 2 decades, Iraq's dinar has been either directly or indirectly tied to the American dollar. That peg has acted as a leash, keeping Iraq's currency value artificially low and heavily dependent on U.S. monetary decisions. This new instruction represents a complete breakaway from that dependence. It's essentially saying, take control of your own economy. The 2% rule isn't a free float, it's a managed one. It gives Iraq room to breathe, but with guardrails. The Central Bank of Iraq could allow natural growth and appreciation of the dinar, while stepping in only when volatility exceeds that narrow margin. This is what economists call a managed float, or sometimes a dirty float, but in this case, it's pure strategy, a move toward controlled freedom. Why does this matter so much? Because pegging the dinar to the US dollar means Iraq's economy isn't truly independent. The value of its money rises or falls based on U.S. interest rates and inflation, not Iraq's real economy. Iraq's wealth, its oil, trade, agriculture, gold, has been restrained under that peg. By allowing the dinar to move within 2%, Iraq can finally unlock its real effective exchange rate, or RER, which is the true reflection of a currency's global value after adjusting for inflation and trade. That's the economic key right there. The peg kept Iraq's rear down, preventing it from showing its real purchasing power. This 2% move starts to change that. It's the first real step toward a currency that mirrors the country's true potential. And what's making this possible right now is not just political will, it's technology. Enter the new system, Remittance 338. This is more than just a software upgrade. It's a complete redesign of Iraq's monetary plumbing. It's a secure, transparent channel that controls how money moves in and out of the country. For years, Iraq's currency flow was chaotic, riddled with black market leaks, unofficial transfers, and unregulated movement. Remittance 338 fixes that by creating a centralized, traceable network for all financial transactions. The central bank can now see, in real time, how dinars and dollars move through the economy. That's how you manage a 2% float, through control and visibility. This is a big deal. By controlling liquidity and cleaning up remittances, Iraq is building a firewall against corruption and capital flight. The banks get stronger because they can finally operate in a stable, predictable environment. And with that, public trust grows. Ordinary Iraqis can finally believe in their banking system because it's transparent, reliable, and accountable. Strong banks mean more lending, more business creation, and more growth, the foundation of a thriving economy. And here's the real game changer. This move kills the parallel or black market. For decades, Iraq's black market has been the cancer draining its economy. It thrived on the difference between the official rate and the street rate. That tiny gap created massive corruption. But with Remittance 338 and the 2% rule, that gap disappears. No one needs the black market anymore when official channels are stable and efficient. That's how you starve out the parallel market, by making it irrelevant. And when the black market dies, the infamous CBI currency auctions die with it. Those auctions were once a money pit for corruption, allowing billions to leave the country under the table. Now they're obsolete. With real-time remittance tracking, Iraq doesn't need currency auctions. The system itself handles legitimate trade and remittances, closing the door on decades of manipulation and fraud. This is a total transformation of Iraq's financial ecosystem. And that transformation leads to one ultimate goal: de-dollarization. You cannot have a truly independent economy if your citizens are using another nation's currency. For too long, Iraqis have been buying homes, cars, even groceries with US dollars. But once the dinar becomes stable and trusted, that changes. This 2% policy gives Iraq the confidence to say, "We're doing business in dinar now." That's the birth of real monetary sovereignty. Imagine the power shift this represents. When people trust their own currency, they stop hoarding dollars. They deposit dinars, they transact in dinars, they invest in dinars. That domestic demand strengthens the currency from within. And with a stable managed exchange rate, that strength becomes sustainable. It's a feedback loop. Stability creates confidence, and confidence creates even more stability. Now, why 2%? Because that number is not random. It's a global standard used by emerging markets transitioning to flexibility. It's the sweet spot between chaos and control. It tells investors the currency won't crash, but it also won't stay artificially low. It's a sign of maturity and discipline. It signals to the world that Iraq is ready to compete globally with a stable, transparent monetary policy. Think of the REER, the real effective exchange rate, as a compressed spring. For 20 years, that spring's been pushed down by the dollar peg, while Iraq's wealth kept building pressure underneath. This 2% policy is like slowly lifting the weight off that spring. The dinar starts to rise, not explosively, but steadily, predictably, safely. It's guided appreciation, not chaos. That's how you unleash value responsibly. And let's be clear, this kind of policy shift doesn't happen without high-level approval. The connection to Trump's order is symbolic of a much larger message. It's time for Iraq to break free from U.S. control and define its own economic destiny. For decades, the dollar peg has been both a shield and a chain. This new move cuts that chain while keeping the shield. It's a pivot toward a world where Iraq's currency stands as a reflection of its own wealth, not America's policy. This is why it's being called a secret order, because it represents a quiet but powerful rejection of the old financial hierarchy. It's a nudge to Iraq saying, "You're ready, take the next step." The timing, the policy, and the technology all align perfectly. Iraq isn't waiting for permission anymore. It's executing a plan that's been years in the making. What we're witnessing is an economic domino effect. Step 1, control remittances. Step 2, stabilize liquidity. Step 3, kill the black market. Step 4, end the auctions. Step 5, de-dollarize. Step 6, unlock the rear through a managed float. Each move strengthens the next until the system sustains itself. It's a complete cycle designed to rebalance the entire Iraqi economy. And here's what that means for everyday Iraqis. For the first time in decades, their savings could actually grow in value instead of shrinking. Their salaries in dinars could buy more goods, not fewer. Imported items could become cheaper. Families could finally make long-term plans without fear of inflation wiping out their earnings. This is about restoring dignity and stability, giving Iraqis back the confidence in their own money. For us watching from the outside, investors, analysts, supporters, this is the validation we've been waiting for. The rumors, the theories, the speculation, it's all converging into real, verifiable policy action. The technology, the political message, and the central bank's strategy are all aligned. The float is coming, but it's managed. The reform is real, and the revaluation is now a matter of when, not if. So let's recap this extraordinary chain of events. A political directive from Trump telling Iraq to break the dollar peg. A specific policy, manage the dinar within 2%. A new technological system, Remittance 338, enabling control and transparency. A direct outcome, the end of black markets, auctions, and corruption. And a final goal, a de-dollarized, independent, and rising Iraqi economy. Every piece is falling perfectly into place. The stage is set, the plan is live, and the process has begun. The dinar is on the path to revealing its true value. We are witnessing a financial revolution unfold step by step, and it all starts with a quiet but powerful instruction. Use your own rate. Stay within 2%. Thank you for tuning in to Iraqi Dinar. If you found this update insightful, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more breaking updates. This journey is just beginning, and together, we'll watch history being made.